Change your heart, change your life, change the planet.
Hey everybody, it's Tim Van Orden coming to you from, I have no idea. I'm out on a bushwhack, taking advantage of the early April snow. It gets kind of warm and mushy during the day and then freezes solid at night. So if you get out here early enough, you can run right along the top of the snow without sinking up to your thighs. So it's one of my favorite times of year because I really get to explore the wilderness off trail and meander in my thoughts. And as I'm out here today, I'm thinking about something that I see consistently with people that reach out to me as a coach. And that is that if you're doing well in life, you generally don't ask for help. But when you have been knocked down somehow, if you've tried something repeatedly and have failed, or something has come along and just kind of put you on your butt, this is when you tend to reach out for help. So the people that seek coaching are people that have experienced some kind of loss. They had a dream, they had a plan, they had a goal, they had an identity perhaps, and it got taken away from them, and they don't know how to get it back. So they seek my help as I plummet up to my knees. Okay, so one of the things that I help people do is to accept the fact that what's going on in their life right now is their new reality, and that we're going to work with what is, rather than wishing we could slide along through life on our butts. You're going to be much better off if you take the ingredients that life is handing you and you make something out of them. But this is not easy, and this is why it really is important to reach out and get help. Because our brains are built to want to deny reality. They're built to want to gloss over and make things appear much better than they actually are, because this keeps us motivated, but it also keeps us from acknowledging the reality of the situation we're in and working with it. So I hear people say to me when they come, like, I know what to do, I just need you to hold me accountable. And while this sounds like a good idea, it doesn't really help that much, because they're not acknowledging the truth of the new situation that they find themselves in. And therefore, they're not working with the reality or the ingredients that life is presenting. So they're not ever taking steps on solid ground. So you'll try to hold them accountable, but there'll always be a reason, there'll always be an excuse for not doing what they have committed to, and then they start feeling bad about that. They start hiding what they're actually doing from me as a coach because they don't want to admit that they're not the person that they thought they were, or they don't have the discipline or the desire or the willpower that they imagine themselves to have. And we're going to take a tiny detour here. I'm just going to show you this beautiful mountain stream. The colors there, I don't know if the phone is picking them up, but wow, it is such a rich, beautiful, warm color. And this stream is what life is presenting me with right now. But it would be so easy for me to stay on the trail that I was on when I started this run and to commit to running a certain distance or a certain amount of time and miss out on all the wonders that were available to me in the periphery, on the sides, outside of my plans, outside of my goals. And had I stayed on that trail, I know from experience that I would have been feeling my Achilles, which hurts consistently when I run, and I would have been feeling tired and sluggish, and there wouldn't be a whole lot of curiosity because I know the trail quite well, and I listen to audiobooks to keep me engaged, but I'm still present to how I feel, and I'm still present to the narrative that I have about training, like, okay, another day trying to get 12 miles in. But the moment I allow myself to move away from the goal, the moment I allow myself to move slowly through the woods and to explore and to not know what I'm going to interact with, the moment I allow myself to be uncertain of where I am, that's the moment that my curiosity reawakens. And this is part of our built-in hardware. In novel environments, we wake up. In environments that we know really well, we go into narrative mode, we spin, because there isn't really anything for our brains to process. Our brains are in been there, done that mode. So what I want to try to do is to get people away from the narrative of what they've been trying to do, who they've been, what type of person they are. I'm a runner. I should be able to run X amount of miles per week. Or I'm this kind of person that should be able to do this. Let's let go of that. Let's let go of the trail. Let's let go of the career, which really means path. And instead, let's go off into the periphery. Let's go off into the unknown. And let's see what's available. Now, it's going to be really different from what you know, because you're used to being a certain kind of person on a certain path in a certain career. And going through the woods at a snail's pace like I am right now, well, what benefit could that possibly have? Well, for me personally, this type of training has gotten me into phenomenal shape, even though there's not a single coach out there other than me that would recommend doing things like this, because it's non-standard and there isn't enough data yet to show that it works. But in my experience, this is the most powerful training modality that I've yet encountered, because it keeps me away from the been there, done that. Had I been on the trail, which was my original intention, yeah, there we go. Okay, come on, Gibble. There we go. Find me again. Yeah, see, I was lost and now I'm found. Every now and then I trip or I sink in up to my hips and go down as my body weight continues forward. And this is all part of my process. This is part of my training, dealing with the unknown and dealing with the unexpected. It keeps waking me up, and rather than getting angry that I'm falling, great, wake up! And it's a constant pull outside of the narrative engine that we get stuck in when we're in the same old routine, when we're in the midst of a career. So by going into a novel environment, going into the unexpected, I turned what I was hoping to be a 4-mile run into, what do I have right now? I have 3.4 miles and I have no idea where I am. So I have at least 3.4 miles to get back. So it's probably going to be 7 to 8 miles today of trudging through the snow in my boots. Much more than I would have done had I stayed on the trail, because I would have been processing my narratives rather than processing the environment. So back to my original point. When we've been knocked down and we want to get back up and we're willing to admit, hey, I need help, which I really do give people props for. Admitting that you need help is it's a huge accomplishment in itself. That's the first step, and it's often the hardest step, just to say that, hey, can you help me? But the second step, and where I think a good coach is really of most value, is helping you to deal with the loss of the dream that you had, of the goal that you had, of the identity that you had, and helping you to, instead of trying to get something back, grieve the loss of that former identity, that former goal, the hopes, dreams, and expectations that you had, help you through that loss, through that grieving process, and start working where you are. Start working with what's available and discover what exists in the periphery. things that will reawaken curiosity in you, things that will get you excited about the process again, get you excited about running again. For instance, to me, running on a road 12 miles a day, just mind-numbing. I'm stuck in a narrative, and my depression doesn't go away when I do that. But when I come out here, I have no recollection of depression whatsoever. It vanishes. And so a big part of my personal process in dealing with depression has been grieving, has been working through the loss of who I wanted to be in my life and helping me to get to the other side of the expectations, hopes, and dreams that my family might have had, that friends might have had, and that I might have had. And instead, learning how to embrace being in novel, beautiful environments like this one. So, if you're stuck and you're trying to get back up, the first step is to allow the past and the future to disappear, to allow them, to allow yourself to fall flat on your face and then get back up and say, all right, what does the next step look like? But let go of the need to hold on to a particular dream. Let go of the future and embrace what is right here. That's the power of now. Seeing what's available and working with it. It's not about meditating. It's not about sitting quietly and trying to shut the narrative up. It's about giving yourself something novel to do in an uncertain environment so that the narrative just naturally turns off because your brain has better things to do, like try to figure out, where the hell am I? I'm just wandering around in the wilderness. How am I going to get home? Ugh. That's a fun problem to solve. All right, I hope there's some value in there for you. And if you find yourself stuck, get out of your career, out of your routine, out of your rut. Learn to grieve the loss of your hopes and dreams and explore what is available in the periphery. All right, let me know in the comments below if you have any experience with this, or if you're stuck and you're having a hard time letting go or grieving or allowing for the loss. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see where I'm at, make sure to click the Strava link in the description. You can see my meanderings where I went today. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do. And if you want to help me create more content like this, come on over to Strava. Your support there is so appreciated. Can't thank you enough. All right, I'll see you soon. Maybe. Bye.